essentially is kind of like, think of a good sports analogy. Yeah, you're adding to the weight of quizzes, decreasing the weight of everything else. So let's suppose, for example, you forgot to do a project. Let's just make up an example. I don't think you did, but suppose you did, right? Now you're down 25 points. Essentially, what the extra quizzes are doing is helping alleviate that 0, because that chunk of projects is worth 100 points. The max you can now get is a 75. Now that'll always be a 75, but the trick is, if you only submit the 10 quizzes that you have to submit, quizzes are 25% of your grade, projects 25% of your grade, and the 2 exams are each 25%, which makes 100%. The more quizzes you do, the smaller the other chunks get. Because if you do more than 10 quizzes, that chunk is now worth more than 25%. It's worth either 30 or 35%, which means the exams go down proportionally as well. So it all depends. I mean, if you get your 10 in, many people get their 10 in and stop doing quizzes, and that's totally fine, because you'll get the exam assessment anyway. So you can stop doing them for sure. But the thing about the in-class ones is it's a nice way to just bolster your grade a little bit more. So if anybody wants a copy of the quiz from Wednesday, just send me an email, and I'll shoot it back as an attachment for sure. And then you can bring it on Wednesday, and we'll get it graded and hand it back to you guys. That's that. I will fix the Excel instructions. Apparently, I say in the Excel document to print and hand in. That's because I'm using the project from last term when I wasn't using Blackboard, and I apologize for that. I will fix it. If anybody already printed it, by all means, you can hand me a physical copy. That's totally fine. It's my bad for screwing that up. If you have not printed it yet, don't. You're home, don't either. Submit it to Blackboard. Save yourself the ink and just do a submission. The link is now up to submit till Wednesday, 8:15. Don't wait till Tuesday night to start that. Not because it's hard, but because you're going to have a hard time getting help if you wait that long on that one, okay? And I'm not saying you'll need help. Hopefully I've given you enough resources in the document to get everything done, and if I haven't, there are plenty of other resources online. Honestly, the best thing you can do when you're learning how to use Excel or any tech-driven anything is simply Google something if you get stuck. And here's proof positive. Years ago, I made the scatter plot video for that project. There's a link in there for how to make a scatter plot in Microsoft Excel. Now it is 2007, not 2010, so there's slight differences. That video now has over 100,000 views through YouTube, and it's not my students finding it, it's other people finding it. I've gotten comments in French, I've gotten comments in German thanking me for the video, so that's how people find stuff now, right? They get tired of waiting for people to be in their office hours to return emails. They just say, to hell with you, it's 2 a.m., I want to Google it. So you guys should be no different about that at all. If you do wait till tomorrow night at 2 a.m., I wish you will. But if you get stuck, just realize that Google's there for you to get that project done. Okay? Google away. Google away. It is written with Excel 2007 in mind because I didn't realize the school was going to update this year to 2010. So apologies, but I'll redo it for next term. It isn't that much different. It isn't that much different. Mostly it's formatting differences, and you can Google those if you need.
Yeah, there was something that I did.
There are slight formatting differences for sure. Yep. And I don't know why Excel changed those formats. It pisses me off actually, because the old ones were fine.
I like the old.
The old ones were fine, and they changed them down to a more non-intuitive. Yeah. It's we know why they do it.
It was that. What's the thing that starts with P? The
Pareto.
graph, yes.
Oh.
I had to Google that.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That should be the easiest one.
It wasn't.
That should be the easiest one of the whole crew.
But I figured it out.
Oh, because they don't call it that.
Right.
They don't call anything. They make up their own names. There's bar charts. Everything's a bar graph.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And then Control V to do everything.
That's a paste, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It put it that way instead of down side.
Oh, really? I've learned when taking a graph from Excel and putting it somewhere else, I stopped doing it that way, Tiff, the whole Control V thing. I stopped doing the Control V and started using snipping tool.
Yeah.
The reason why I stopped using Control V is when you do that from an Excel spreadsheet into like a Word document, it drops in as a live thing, which means you drop it into the document and then you can still edit it. And I don't know what defaults it has set to edit it from. I don't get that at all. So what I do is I do a snip, which makes it a picture. And then I drop the picture in a Word, and then it just becomes a static image. And that's I don't know, I've kind of gotten used to the whole snipping tool thing. What's up, Michelle?
That day that I came back to class and everybody was gone, I forgot to
Just put it there. That's good. So anyway, shoot me an email if you get stuck with anything. I haven't heard anything from anybody yet. I'm hoping that means you were able to get through it relatively successfully. Of course, if you get stuck, email me what you're stuck on. Like send me an attachment, what you're working on, and I can make little adjustments and send it back to you. That's probably the easiest way to do it if you get stuck. That rather than trying to be, it's like my mother-in-law yesterday trying to get me to fix her laptop from her house, like 3 miles away. It's tiny. I'm like, can you bring it over? I'll just come over there. I need to like be looking at what you're doing in order to fix it. I can't fix it from afar. So, cool? All right. I thought you were talking about the Usain Bolt spreadsheets for next week.
No,
which
that's
you were
done
not.
too.
Good. Good for you. Good for you. So I got all the links up. You've got a couple last quizzes for this week. One is a Monty Hall revisiting. Monty Hall was that door game we played a week ago, a week and a half ago. I made a quiz up about that. I had some fun with that. Hopefully you do too. And the last quiz is something else which I can't remember now. Oh, it's about rolling dice. Betting on dice, exactly, which we're going to do today in class 2. So we'll get some warm up for that. Kind of like we were doing last time, except last time was roulette, which is really a 38-sided die. At the end of the day, it's what it is. It's anything that you have a uniform chance of getting certain outcomes becomes a bleh-sided die, whether it's a coin or a die or a deck of cards or anything like that. So today, we're going to learn how to play the most basic version of craps. And then we're going to hopefully understand mathematically how long you'll have until you bankrupt yourself playing craps in Vegas. And then this is a tie-in to your exam. There's a question on your exam about this, a similar thing, which is another way of betting in craps. When I hand out the quiz, you'll see that a craps table has a lot of stuff on it. There's a lot of ways to bet in craps. We're not going to analyze most of those. We're going to analyze only one today, and then you'll see one more for your exam due next week. So what you're going to need to do is pair off. You need a partner to do this with. So do that first, and then we'll walk around and distribute supplies and then chit-chat about what we're doing.